his opponent, Victor Joe Boxer Valenzuela. Valenzuela with the height and reach advantage. They both weigh about the same, both known for their stand-up. I would recommend that you do not blink. It could be fistic fireworks as we now throw it to Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, Elite XC presents the Show XC featured bout of the evening, brought to you in association with Rockstar Energy Drink and Showtime. This bout is sanctioned by the Mississippi Athletic Commission. The chairman is John Lewis. All right, fans, here we go. Lightweights in the cage. We're scheduled 3 5-minute rounds in a rematch special attraction. And now, ladies and gentlemen, this is it, the main event of the evening. Introducing to you first on my left, fighting out of the blue corner, standing 5 feet 10 inches, he weighed in at 155 pounds. He's an MMA standout raised in the discipline of boxing. His record stands at 5 wins, 2 losses, and 2 draws, with 2 wins coming by way of knockout and 3 by submission. Representing Millennia Fight Team and hailing from Rancho Cucamonga, California, ladies and gentlemen, he is known as Joe Boxer. Introducing Victor Valenzuela. And his opponent across the cage on my right, fighting out of the red corner, standing 5 feet 7 inches, he weighed in at 155 1/2 pounds. He is a dangerous brawler puncher with a record of 18 wins, 13 losses, and 2 draws, with 12 wins coming by way of knockout and 3 by submission. Representing Team Horsepower and hailing from Ocala, Florida, introducing the colorful Charles Crazy Horse Bennet. And the referee in charge of this bout, John Manley, now to give instructions.
Charles. Gentlemen, we covered the rules backstage. I expect both fighters to follow those rules at all times. I expect you to listen to my directions at all times. Once you go back to your corners, be ready to come out and fight. Let's go.
Obviously, we weren't going to see these two warriors touch gloves. You know, Steven, the sport of mixed martial arts prides itself on the mutual respect, the camaraderie, the competition. Throw that all out the window, my friend. This is a grudge match main event. Bennet versus Valenzuela, and it's underway.
And it's underway, and I expect the jab of Valenzuela to be a key factor here in the first round. Bennet can clown all he wants, and there he is.
Already put Valenzuela on his back with the strike, and now going to work on Joe Boxer Valenzuela. And this is what the MO is for Charles Bennet. He will not impress you with his ground game. He won't impress you with his stand-up techniques. How he will impress you is with that knockout power.
In a word, explosive. One punch knockout power, Morrow.
And that's all it takes. Valenzuela Responso back on his feet after surviving that early storm of striking activity by Charles Crazy Horse Bennet. Already sending a message really reminiscent of their first fight in King of the Cage 2 years ago.
It really was, because Bennet had Valenzuela down via a single punch early in the first round 2 years ago.
But now, is Bennet allowing Valenzuela to clean out the cobwebs? Is he allowing him to get back into this fight? Do you think he should be more offensive, more aggressive, knowing that he's already rattled him a couple of times?
I think so. Bennet, who is the southpaw, is using that right hook very effectively here in round number 1.
He's allowing Valenzuela to get his confidence back. A minute and a half gone. Already Bennet has put Valenzuela on the canvas once. Nice body shot by Bennet, but again, you see that wild striking, which opens him up to a very effective counterattack should Valenzuela choose to go that route.
I would have thought that Valenzuela was going to be the counter striker here, but he's moving forward, pressing the action. I don't know, I think he should hang back and have Charles move forward, because Charles is the counter puncher here in round number 1.
And obviously Bennet has no respect whatsoever, let alone for the person who is Valenzuela, but for his punching power. Look where his hands are. He is just doing a little head movement, and oh, he's putting on a histrionic display for the fans. Charles Crazy Horse Bennett, love him or hate him, but this guy is mixed martial arts anti-hero.
He caught a right hand about 30 seconds ago, and he shook his head. But Valenzuela knows he connected, and there's a big left hook.
And whether he's clowning around or not, Bennett has been hurt by Joe Boxer Valenzuela. Now into the north-south position. Bennett struggling to get back up to his feet. You know, you wonder sometimes, though, Stephen, and I know you've been around this sport a long, long time, why does Bennett elect to go this clowning route? I mean, come on, he has all the potential to really be a star, and yet he just wants to. I don't know what he's doing here. Why is he not defending himself?
I think it's a self-destruction internal mechanism, but that's a psychological thing. Right now, they're very physical, and Joe Boxer, Victor Valenzuela, has squeaked into the lead and is doing much more damage and going to the body wisely.
There's such a thing as hubris. I think Bennett's got plenty of it. He is starting to be broken down here by Joe Boxer Valenzuela. Now has his back, and Bennett taps out. End of story. Valenzuela redeems himself. Joe Boxer records the win in this grudge rematch.
Valenzuela hurt Bennett early, and Bennett never recovered. He recovered enough to clown around, but he was going down eventually, and Valenzuela knew it.
Machismo comes back to bite Charles Crazy Horse Bennett in the butt, Stephen. Simply put, Bennett, I mean, again, I just don't understand it. I don't get why he continues to do what he does, because he had this fight in control. Bennett's already walking to the back. Joe Boxer Valenzuela has to feel like $1 million exercising one of his personal demons. He felt that he was robbed 2 years ago in King of the Cage when the fight was ruled a draw. Well, there's no doubt about it in this one. He stops Charles Crazy Horse Bennett in the first round and makes the Crazy Horse tap out.
Well, he had back control, and he was thinking about sinking the hooks in and going for a rear naked choke, but he chose to pound him out. I think he wanted to send a message deep to the core of the mind of Crazy Horse. I dominated you with strikes, your weapon of choice.
You know, Stephen, you're the fight professor. You're not the fight doctor. But what the hell is wrong with Charles Bennett? Can you tell me?
I think Charles Bennett is pretty much in love with his own legacy of being a rebel, and I think he needs to get disciplined. Will that happen? The chances are very good it won't happen.
How we doing, baby? Bennet, Nikki, I love you guys.
Bennet is known from coming out of nowhere, and he did just that early in round number 1. But he swung wildly and almost got caught with another submission. Now look at this, explosive. He took some shots, and man, that right hand landed, but he kind of backed away.
Shouldn't that have been the end of the fight, Stephen? Like, shouldn't he have just gone to town on Valenzuela instead of allowing him to do this?
Well, he should have, but he let Joe Boxer pick his shots. And one thing I like about Valenzuela, he used his jab, he switched up, and he caught Bennet right on the chin, and Bennet was rocked here. But Valenzuela wisely went head then body. Then once it went to the floor, he just decided to pound him out. Look at these body shots, those uppercuts, and man, Bennet is in big trouble here. Bennett's acting like he's slipping punches a la Pernell Whitaker, but crashes head first into the canvas. Valenzuela thinking jiu-jitsu, but thinking, nah, I don't think so. And he blasts away with the right hand until it's over. The body shots set up that punch combination to the head, and down went Bennet.
2 years of frustration have drained out of the body of Joe Boxer Victor Valenzuela, as we now go to Jimmy Lennon Jr. to announce the winner of the Show XC main event.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 3 minutes, 23 seconds in round number 1. The fighter taps out due to strikes. He is the winner by way of submission, Joe Boxer Victor